What's up, Salt Yakers? Want to get
Yep,
on there?
I'm on.
Oh, hey guys, welcome back to Paradise. It's not quite 7 o'clock yet, so we're gonna give it just a minute. 7 o'clock yet, so
Oh, getting money.
we're gonna give it just a minute, giving an opportunity for folks to get logged on and get ready. But to those of you who are here already, thank you. We appreciate you.
Oh, the birds are.
That was a whistler duck. We have a whole giant. What do you call a group of ducks? I don't even know. They're not a flock. What are they? There's a whole bunch of whistler ducks that live here on the little pond behind us.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a fire department back that way too, in case you're wondering, because I'm sure you didn't pick up on that. But we got folks starting to join us here now. So,
Hey,
so welcome back to Paradise. Welcome back to another
look here really quick.
Tackle Tuesday.
Where do I find it on here?
I don't know. Give me just a moment.
1 second. We want to make sure we can see comments, and we're old and we're slow. So eventually, on episode 9, we'll have it down.
Some of us are old and slow.
And I actually.
Others are just old.
I used to be so good at all of this. So.
Well, golly gee willikers, Wally. I don't know.
Okay.
I did it last week.
Alrighty. Okay, thanks.
So, welcome back to another Tackle Tuesday or Talk Fishing with me. Uh,
Talk fishing to me.
and the topic of discussion today is going to be how to find and catch snook. Uh, and there's a lot of experts out there that are going to think that we're probably a little silly. But this kind of conversation is not directed towards the experts. The experts don't need our help. They're already the expert, right? But this is for folks who are trying to, improve their game a little. Agreed?
Yeah. I'm always trying to improve my game, but I'm super competitive, so.
And I'm going to do one thing real quick that always makes Aaron mad. I got to get up and step away for just a moment. I'm going to be back in about 5 seconds. Y'all hang out with Aaron. I'll be right back. Don't be afraid to talk to him.
Um, hang tight. I have no idea where he went, and I was actually working on comments. So drop us a comment so I can find him on here and say hello so we know you're here.
I was going to share a story with y'all before we get started. We went out one day recently to a really amazing place, just beautiful, crystal clear water, just like a place where many of postcards have probably been drawn up to do a little bit of fishing. And we get there and somehow have like the worst day of fishing ever. I mean, it was terrible. All day long, I caught like two or three little dinky snook, or not, little dinky trout. And I did have one snook, and I don't know how he even got the hook in his mouth. He was so tiny. And that was it. And poor Erin, she got skunked. She had nothing. Not a fish hit her boat all day long.
Was this at Anna Maria?
Yeah. And so then...
No, I caught a squirrel fish.
Somebody commented.
I caught a squirrel fish.
Hey,
Okay?
little D. What's going on, brother? And let's see, who's that? From Shiner, Texas. What? Who's
We
in
got
Shiner,
Texans on
Texas?
here?
Hey, listen, I've been to Shiner, Texas a whole bunch of times.
Yeah.
Not just for the reasons that folks go to Shiner, Texas, because that place with the
Shiner
yellow
Bob.
label and the little pretty goat on the label. But when I was a kid, my parents owned an ice factory in a town called Junction, Texas, and we supplied the ice to the Shiner Brewery. Sometimes, not all the time. It's like when they had big
It's
events and
okay.
they needed extra ice. We would
I
haul
want to
ice
know
for
how much ice, Will. I want you to. I need a report.
it was a truckload of ice at a time. It sucked. I was like probably 13 years old in that old truck, hucking bags of ice. It's a rough go. But you get the flu in the middle of summer in Texas. But anyways, back to my story. We're out there and we have this really awful day of fishing. And I'm like, man, what is going on? And at the end of the day, this one over here this little hot mess, she fesses up that she had a plan for that day. She had set out to be like that dude Jamie with the big mustache and his weirdo buddy Adam. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Mythbusters. Remember that TV show? She set out to be like one of the Mythbusters. She was going to bust a myth. And I look over, and in her boat, all day long, she had one of these. Drop me a comment. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? She had one of these in her boat.
I was just thinking, is this really, like, I know it's a wives' tale or an old farmer's tale or
Myth or
fisherman tale, whatever. But, like, is it really a thing? Because I'm really good at fishing now.
She said I was gonna bust this myth. I was gonna catch a fish and I was gonna reel it in on video while
I'm
eating
still
a
going to do it.
banana.
I'm still going to do it at some point.
Do you guys have any experience with that? No! Somebody said bananas. I don't know. Oh, Derek. Yeah.
To be fair, I have gone out fishing with the girls and found out somebody had a banana and made them throw it in the water.
I would consider, if I saw that one of the girls had a banana, I would probably consider throwing her in the water.
I considered that as well, yeah.
So, do y'all have
So-
any experience with that? Let us know.
Myth was not busted. I had a terrible day of fishing. Was it related to the banana? We will never know.
We're not going to try to bust that myth again, I don't think. You know, another thing is
I am 100% going to try it again.
we even made a little short about it because, you know, I found it to be humorous, and I know I'm not the only complete twisted weirdo on earth. There are at least a few more of you out there with me. You know you are. So I made a little short about it, put it on YouTube, and the algorithm was like, no, this sucks. And it didn't show it to anybody. Been on there all day and showed it like
Really?
70 times. Yeah. So, anyway, the
Nobody
challenges of trying to make a YouTube channel. There goes another whistler duck.
This is our backyard,
Yeah.
by the way.
So
It's very
back
pretty and
to
very, we have bunnies and turtles and alligators and ducks, families. It's really cool.
the other day, we watched a turtle come up out of the pond. Somebody was saying
I'll
something.
go watch it over here since I can't. I was having boat motor problems one day and I looked back and saw, oops, my brother-in-law was eating a banana.
No!
Derek. I asked him to throw it out, and after that the motor was fine. Oh my goodness. The rest of the day, just crazy.
Yeah, banana
All
gone,
right.
everything good. But anyway, so back to the backyard, pond back here. The other day, Erin called. She was like, "Hey, come look at this." And there's this like massive soft-shell turtle come up out of the pond.
So cool.
Comes up in the backyard, digs a hole, squirts her eggs in it. How they do. She covers them up. She back in the water.
I was so excited because I'm like, we're going to have baby turtles. Oh my gosh.
Next day, dog's hanging out over there for a pretty good while. And then Erin's like, "Hey, wait a minute. What's the dog doing over there?" And so Erin goes over and all them eggs are dug up and ate. All of them.
I don't think Sunny did it. I think that probably a raccoon or something during the night. But this turtle was so careful, and I thought, we're the chosen ones. They've chosen our yard to lay eggs.
We were not chosen.
And then, boom, baby's destroyed. It was
Yeah.
sad. It was sad.
Okay, so back to the topic at hand. So tonight we want to talk about how to locate and find and get a bite from and catch a snook. It's tough, guys. You know, we do a lot of fishing. We catch a lot of fish. We're very fortunate. We find a lot of success. Snook are tough. We
Yes.
catch some, but not near as many as you want to catch. And a lot of people really struggle with them. So we want to share with you guys some of the things that help us to be successful when we are. Like, for example,
And at the end of this, remind me, because I have a story to tell about being on a boat with Derek that you're probably not even going to remember. So.
okay. I don't even remember being on a boat with Derek, so we'll see
Yeah.
about that. Was I
That
there?
makes sense.
Was I there, or was I like in the back of the
No,
truck
you
with
were there.
watermelon?
You were,
I don't
you
know.
were there.
possible.
He wasn't dying of
Anaphylactic
anaphylactic shock. Or,
shock,
yeah.
So, like this last weekend, we took out two ladies who they're locals to the area, but they're not fishermen, but they want to become fishermen. And these are ladies our age group,
They do water sports. They're totally
very
into, yeah.
active, mermaid kind of girls, paddle boarders and all that stuff, but never been in a kayak, uh, and never really fished. So we take them out to teach them how to fish. And over the course of we fished for like 6 hours all in. But about halfway through, about 3 hours in, both of these girls had an inshore slam. For those of you who don't know what that means they caught a spotted sea trout, a redfish, and a snook. If you get all three of those in the same day in our area, that's an inshore slam. If you're up in the panhandle of Florida, or if you're in Texas along the Gulf Coast or Louisiana,
Is it
your
flounder?
slam is different. Your slam is what? Redfish, trout, and flounder, I think, if that's right. Down here, we just don't fool with the flounder too
I
much.
love
We
flounder though.
go,
They're fun to catch.
yeah, but snook are way better.
Yeah.
So these girls each got a slam like halfway through the day, and I'm freaking out because to me, hey, that's a big deal. It's tough to get a slam. It's tough to get all those species.
And they have no clue. They've
They're,
never fished. They had no clue how amazing their day was.
I'm freaking out about it, and both of them girls are like, is this really a big deal, or are you just kind of selling us? I'm like trying to call my buddies to validate this. Captain Kenny, if you happen to be watching right now, I was trying to call you on speaker because I want to say, hey, Captain Kenny,
Yeah.
out of curiosity, how difficult is it to complete a slam in a day?
Yeah. We have a friend that hasn't. He told me one
Wait a minute,
day.
he may be watching.
No,
No,
I'm
I'm
not
kidding.
saying who
I'm
it is.
kidding. I'm kidding.
But he literally said to me, Erin, I can't believe you get inshore slams all the time. I fish every weekend and I've never gotten one.
It's
So it's
just,
actually really rare. And both girls got one.
and
I mean, we're not bragging. We're just excited
it was
that
so cool.
they had such a good day. That was it.
And the reality is, the trout, he's so freaking easy to catch.
Yeah.
Trout ride the short bus. They're all special.
Let's see what
They have no like
trash can slam. Oh, God. Is that
the trash can. What's
is that
that?
a catfish?
Ladyfish, a catfish, and what's the third one? I can't
Tell
remember.
us what a trash can slam is, Derek.
Ladyfish, catfish,
Maybe it's a squirrel fish like I caught in Anna
uh,
Maria Island.
or a toadfish, maybe. I can't remember. Tell us.
Yeah.
Um, okay, the trout's just what is it?
I should have worn my glasses. Uh-oh. Sheep's head. Oh, sheep's head are good here.
Oh yeah, sheephead are amazing.
Where'd it go? Hardhead. Okay. Croaker. What's a croaker?
Oh, okay, we don't have
Sheep's
croakers
head.
here.
Okay.
A croaker is, they hate croakers the way you hate catching a pinfish.
Oh, God, I
But they're-
hate pinfish.
But when we do find croakers here, they're amazing snook bait. So
Oh,
you get-
okay.
we do have croakers, but not like y'all do up there. Um, so the trout's super easy. Redfish, not a huge challenge to catching redfish. If you can find them without spooking them, you can typically catch them. And when I say without spooking them, the only way you're going to spook them is if you bring your boat just way too close to them. Short of that, redfish are pretty, not too challenging. The
I
snook,
think they're hard.
yeah, but the snook, that dude is a pain in the ass. He is so freaking hard to catch. Finding
All
them,
the way through. Yep.
finding them's nothing, man. We can find them. No problem. A lot of times you just walk down to the water on a canal, on the beach, wherever. You can find them. You'll see them because our water here is clear. You'll see them. They're there. And they're usually swimming by you with their middle finger in the air as they pass you. They ain't going to have nothing to do with you. And it doesn't matter what you throw at them, they're not going to eat it most of the time. That's a simple truth. You can probably see 20, 30, 40, 50 snook before you can get one to
I
bite.
feel like, though, if you can see them, they can see you. So you have to sneak up on them.
Right. So, few things about them. Talking about how hard they are to catch, but number one is for us when we find success, the first thing is the water conditions. It has to be right. Here's what a snook wants. He wants clean water, right? Not to say they're in the murky water too, but in smaller, lesser numbers. The greater numbers you find in clean water with good current in it. That
Mm.
water's got to be moving. If it's still water, like in the back of a cove area, forget it. They're
The
not going to
back
be
of
in there.
Tampa Bay.
Back of a canal, they're not going to be in there. They want a moving current, and you'll see them. They'll always sit facing into the current and sitting there waiting. They're an ambush hunter. So the next thing you want, once you find that clean, moving water, then they want structure of some sort. Somebody comment in there.
Okay.
They want structure of some sort.
Snook is one of my bucket list fish. You guys need to come see us.
Who's that?
Derek.
Well, no, you might know somebody that can help you with that.
I feel like we could put you on some Snook.
Maybe.
I'm getting my glasses so I can see.
So, all right. So then you got to have some kind of structure. You guys that have fished
Okay.
freshwater, think about them like a bass. Where do you find a bass? You find a bass. I always talk about it like he's the boogeyman. The snook, real in the water, he's the boogeyman. And where's the boogeyman live? He lives in the dark. He lives in the shadows. He lives under stuff. You'll find him up under mangroves.
Yeah, when mangroves are hanging over the water, I always look for that.
Yep. And you'll find them under docks. Under docks is where we hook most of our snook.
Yeah.
But just because you hook them there, that don't mean squat.
Whew.
Yeah.
I'm having flashbacks.
Yeah,
Yes.
you got a little sweaty on that deal, didn't
I
you?
did.
So, sorry, clean, moving water with shadows
Shades,
where
yeah.
they can hide, and then it's the bait. Snook, it's like they eat with their pinkies up. They're
Yes.
very particular. If you got a beat up shrimp on there, forget it, dude.
Mm-mm.
You're wasting your time. Pack your crap and go to the house because you ain't catching a friggin' snook. You got to have nice, lively, healthy live bait.
Fresh.
Um, we typically are fishing shrimp, and quite frankly, that's just a matter of kind of lazy. Hit the bait shop and go, right?
Yeah.
Versus like we can buy greenbacks or white bait if you want to call it that, or whatever, or so many different names. Um, but anyways, most bait shops don't have them healthy. You'll find those fish in the bait shops, and they're always kind of beat up looking because they were caught in a net
They're
12 hours ago. They've
delicate.
been in a tank ever since, and they're beating each other up. And by the time you can get them and get out on the water and all that, they're probably dead. So we buy live shrimp, and then sometimes I'll throw the cast net to get those pilchards or those greenbacks, or hopefully even some threadfin or something like that. Uh, but the key is they got to be alive and they got to be healthy. Now, when you hook them, you got to be super careful to not kill them, right? So if it's a shrimp, you got a couple of options: under the horn, avoiding
Oh, the shrimp. Yeah.
avoiding all his organs, or in the last section of his tail, where his tail stuff. You can hook him in there. I prefer it under the horn because that's where he'll swim the most natural. If it's a greenback, there's a lot of different approaches people take. Some folks hook them through their belly. I like to hook them straight through their face, up through the bottom, through their mouth, the because they'll swim the best that way for in my experience. But the problem is they ain't gonna live long at all. One or two casts, he's done. And once he's dead, forget it. They're not gonna eat him. Um, so that's the deal. Really healthy, lively, live bait. Um,
I just got to the comments, y'all.
Yay! So
Oh my gosh, Shelby's on here too.
once you've got the right spot with those kind of water conditions and you got the right bait, around here at least, we're gonna start seeing the fish. Literally, you're gonna see them by as long as you got hat, sunglasses, all that, uh, and they spook so freaking easily. So you can't get too close. When
Yeah.
again, we're typically in kayaks, right? Um, and I think that's another thing. That's our other advantage. We come in very slowly and very quietly as we're approaching a dock, or somebody commented, or we're approaching a big line of mangroves. We come in slowly and quietly.
Nick said, "That's crazy. I've never got a slam. I'm just now getting into saltwater fishing."
Nick, let's go. We got to get you one.
Yeah, we'll help you.
Yeah,
It's
whatever
so
we can do to
fun.
help you, buddy, we'll help you.
Yeah.
Um,
What's
So
the best time of year to fish snook? Good question. We just finished one
ba-
of our seasons.
basically, sometime between January 1st and December 31st. Uh, I
If
love
you
the
want to keep them, they're seasons. Yeah,
yeah, the seasons are
they're
tiny.
tiny.
But I mean, right now for us, right now the snook bite is hot.
Hmm.
Um, as it gets really hot in the summer months, it will wane. The snook will move out. They
I'm
will
trying to get
be
cold.
out off the beach in that water
Oh,
that's really moving and cooler. So
okay.
basically, anytime the water temperatures are a little bit cooler is the best time for snook. Hot temperatures, they're gonna not be around as much. Hope that helps you. So back to we're coming in on that structure on our kayaks. We come in as quietly as we can. We don't drop an anchor in the water because that splash. I'm
Hmm.
telling you, if there's a snook within 100 feet of you and you make the splash of dropping in the anchor, again, you're back to the hotel. Excuse me, the Heartbreak Hotel. Pack your crap and get out because he ain't gonna bite, and that's just how it is. So we come in super slow, we come in super quiet, and then once we get, if the water's shallow enough, we'll quietly put our stick poles or shallow water anchors to hold us there, or we'll just pull up along the side of a pylon and kind of hold on to the pylon, and now you're set. Now you make that cast. Okay, there's some different schools of thought here. As we're making the cast, I want you to think about the tackle you're using. Um, your leader is critical, but it's a challenge too because snook, if you don't know snook, their mouth is very similar to a bass or a crappie. Looks just like a crappie's mouth, bigger of course, but sort of the same shape. No teeth, yet the inside of his mouth is very abrasive. It's like you put your thumb in there and it's like sandpaper.
Hmm.
Okay, so if that hook gets past his lips and gets inside, that sandpaper abrasiveness is gonna fray your leader. So, along those lines, we want to have a heavy leader. We want to have a 40, a 50-pound leader where maybe they won't fray through it too quickly. But then with that heavy leader, you get very few bites because he
They
can
can
see
see
it.
it.
They got big giant eyeballs on them. They're this sounds weird to say. They're smart, man. They'll
They
see
are.
it and they ain't gonna eat your crap. I don't care.
And they're aggressive, so most of the time the hook is getting past their lip.
Agreed.
So it
Agreed.
sucks.
Agreed. So then we go to a lighter leader. We like to use typically like a 20-pound leader, 20-pound fluorocarbon. In this super clear water, it's a little more difficult for them to see. We get more bites, but pray to God it's not deep in his mouth because he's gonna break you off.
Yeah.
Period. And B, the first thing a snook, as soon as he bites and he feels that
A
something is
tug.
strange, he feels that tension from the line or he feels the hook or whatever, the first thing he does is haul ass. Whoa. And lots of times you don't even feel the bite yet, and all of a sudden you just see your line just zipping sideways. And the first thing he does is he heads for structure. And he just touches your line on those barnacles and oysters on the pylon, and you're done. It's going
Yeah.
to cut it. So these are the challenges. As I say, just because you hook a snook means nothing.
So true.
The odds of getting him out of that dock when we're dock fishing, I tell most folks, realistically, I think if you can get half of the snook that you hook back in there, if you can get half of them out of the dock, you're winning.
Even getting them, I got broke off twice yesterday by big snook, and we actually saw them in the water.
Up on the surface,
And they
thrashing.
come up and they're like shaking and just spit the hook right in your face. And it's devastating. It's absolutely devastating. But what was my point to that?
So back to that moment again, that making that cast, and we talked
Yeah.
about leader. There's two more things to consider in that equation. Your hook, right, that
Yes,
is tied to your
that was
leader.
part of my problem yesterday.
Yeah,
I had a sheep's head, Derek. I had a sheep's head hook on for one of those.
yeah,
A
and
tiny hook.
because she ran out of what she needed in the boat at
I
that
screwed up.
moment. But in my experience, I when I first started snook fishing, I was using a hook that was too damn big. I was using like a 4/0, sometimes a 5/0. I don't know what the hell I was thinking. Even a 4/0, that's a big old hook, man. And what I found, and it was even typically like a J hook, not a standard J hook, but like an O'Shaughnessy or an octopus hook, where it's got a little bit of a curve to it. When I learned to size that down and go to the circle hook and we'll use like a 2/0 circle hook. This is where we have the most success with getting the hook, with getting that fish hooked with the hook set in him, and without pulling out. Because when you use that big hook, they can see it. Forget it. It's just like the heavy leader. They're like, man, they look at it, they shoot you the middle finger, and they slowly and confidently swim away from you. They're not freaked out. They're not tearing away. No, they're just like, no thanks, dude. We're good.
I feel like it's on that note that we catch a lot of small snook babies because they haven't learned
They're
yet.
not very smart.
But man, the snook were huge yesterday. And that's what I was going to say is they actually broke, not only spit the hook out, but completely broke me off, broke through the 20-pound fluorocarbon. Um,
They did that to her 2 times. And one of the ladies that was with us that I can recall, she got literally broken off. It was either 3 or 4 times.
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Ugh, anyways.
They're not small snook.
And you don't want to make mistakes when you're casting, like when we're showing people how to fish, like we were doing yesterday. And this is not a shot at them at all, but sometimes they would get hung up on the dock, or they just had a bad toss, and then you have to you have to roll your boat up in there to help them get unhooked off the dock
And
or
then
whatever they're
move
stuck to.
on because you got too
Yeah,
close.
then
And
you're
all them
done, and
fish are
all
like,
yeah, exactly. Southwest Florida said, have you tried a blood knot to help with the snook and tarpon? I use a long piece of 20, then about 10 inches of 30 at the end. Oh, using a blood knot. It helps a lot with snook and tarpon.
May give that a shot
Yeah,
next go
that's
around.
a good
Just
thought,
a little
actually.
tidbit of something heavier.
I like that. That's a good idea. Why haven't we thought of that? Or I haven't. You probably
I
have.
didn't think about it. I
Thank
didn't.
you.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll put a piece of so back in the day when I used to trout fish like them dumb rainbow trout up in La La Land. Uh, when I fly fished, we rather than leader we use tippet because it was a much smaller piece.
That's
So
such
that's
a good
basically what you're
idea.
talking about. You're talking about using a tippet on there.
Yeah.
Appreciate the tip. Get it? Tippet.
Man, you're good.
Ah,
You are
I'll be here all
good.
week, folks. Actually, I won't be here all week, but all right. So
Okay.
now the other piece to it, we've talked about how we want to rig, right? Fluorocarbon leader, uh, not a giant hook for us typically. 2/0 circle hook, it seems to be ideal. Nice lively bait, right? In the shadows where the boogeyman lives with clean, clear, moving water. Uh, the next piece of that is sort of the struggle after the bite. Uh, you notice I talk about the hook. I didn't talk about any other tackle because we don't use any other tackle. That's
Live.
it.
Yep.
Just the hook with the live bait on it.
No weight. Typically.
Because as soon as you put that weight on it, it makes that fish or shrimp move a little weird. The snook won't eat it. It's got to just be live lining or free lining and being. So that means a lot of times that bait will actually swim back towards you. So now there's so much slack in the line that you don't even feel the bite. You just you'll just see the line
Yeah.
move. That braid sitting up on top of the surface, and I always tell folks, hey, that braid is that's your bobber. We're not using a bobber. That's it. Just watch that line, and when it moves, something's going on. So sometimes he'll take that bait when it's moving towards you. You don't even feel it, but you see that twitch in the line. At that moment, understanding that it's a circle hook and we can't just set, right? The key is as soon as we see that movement, we'll reel just to take the slack out of the line and slowly sweep that rod a bit just to feel if there's any weight on it. And when you're doing that, if there's weight on it, that slow sweep is going to turn that corner hook, boom, bury it in the side of his mouth. He's hooked and the fight is on. At that moment, we have our kayaks in reverse, and you've got to pedal and you got to get that fish out of that dock
Yep.
as fast as possible.
Combat fishing, that's what we call
That's
it.
right.
It's tough.
Yeah, because if he's in that dock for any amount of time, forget it. He's
Oh.
gonna break you off. You got to get him out quick. Once you get him out of the dock, you can play with him a little bit and enjoy him a little bit, but get him out of there immediately.
So Southwest Florida said, when we said thank you, he said always, and he's loving his new Hobie. Congrats again.
And I own 4 Hobies, and all 4 of mine, when I bought them, I could never get one in seagrass green.
Yeah, he's
And
envious.
his is seagrass green.
And Nick says, y'all have already taught me a lot. I appreciate that. I see y'all killing it with those beautiful redfish. Thanks,
Thank you,
Nick. I'm
Nick.
glad you're part of our family. It's so fun.
She got a nice one yesterday. We
I
did
got
not.
a big one yesterday.
I didn't even attempt a video yesterday because it was too. We had 2 ladies who didn't fish, so they needed a lot of instruction. So I couldn't. I couldn't spend time trying to film.
I videoed some, by the way. You'll have to look at it
Okay.
and see if I got anything.
Well, I was really trying to tend to them and make sure they had a good time. And this one caught like a 26-inch redfish.
It was
It
so
was
fun.
it was pretty
I
sweet.
was praying the whole time. Please, Lord. Please, Lord.
Please make me a bird so I can fly to a fish.
Let me look cool in front of these ladies. Southwest Florida said 100% agree. Free line is best. And Derek said had to order that gray camo hat. That's a good one. Oh, do you know that Derek ordered that?
We might want to check the website.
Okay, we got to
for
check
orders.
the website.
Speaking of which, all of you guys, if your hat's old and crusty, because it's been a minute since we did hats, we've got the refreshers now. So order your nice, new, clean, refreshed hat. Or if you've been living under a rock for a couple years like Derek has, then hurry up and get your first one. Ladies, Erin made me put my logo with something pink, and it almost hurt a little. And now I've been humbled because she has about sold them out already.
Yeah, because girls fish too.
Yeah. So, ladies, get you one. We got
Thank you, Derek.
We got the pink. We got the OG black. We have a beautiful royal blue.
Yeah, this one is sick.
Or the gray camel. Yeah, the gray camel is my favorite. Especially, I will say, I've been wearing it while we're on the water, and that
It's cool.
light color, like this sucker here cooks my noodle out there in the sun. But that in there, it's really nice out in the sun. Speaking of,
Do we look like we've been out in the sun? Oh my gosh. And we are really careful.
hey, check it out. Watch this. Just to give you an idea.
Listen, we wear sun fishing shirts. I was telling my kid, I talked to him on the phone, and I still got burned underneath a SPF fishing shirt.
Through clothing.
Through clothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of his brand new, really sweet seagrass green compass,
Yes.
that's another thing I want to mention about snook fishing. And this is not going to be a popular statement. It's going to irritate a lot of people. The other reason I believe we find as much success as we do with snook, and a lot of people that I know and a lot of YouTubers that I have watched for a lot of years, is because of the kayak guys. When you come in with no motor and with no music playing, turn your damn music off when you're fishing. We come in.
We're not out there to party. We're out there to win.
But believe you me, we're gonna party at the end of it. When we're paddling in and there's that beautiful turquoise sandbar and everybody's hanging out, I'm gonna stop and hang out and have a couple beers on the sandbar. But I'm telling you, the more quiet you can be, the better. And the kayak is stealth, not only because of no motor, but just because it's small.
Yeah.
We're not pushing a lot of water when we come in. We're not creating this giant shadow on the bottom for the fish to see. And we're not walking around going ding, 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 ding on the boat, because listen, that stuff transfers into the water. I don't know, but I do remember like high school science or something when they were talking about how sound travels through water, something like, help me out guys, twice as fast and
I
far,
feel like
twice
no
as
one
far
else is
as
gonna
in
know
air,
those
or
facts
10
except
times.
Will.
Somebody else is a wealth
Dad.
of useless knowledge like me.
All the dads out there, tell us about sound and how fast it travels through water.
Or how far. My
Or how
point is,
far.
they hear that stuff, man, and snook are spooky. They're more spooky than any other fish I've ever targeted, maybe with the exception of tarpon. Because tarpon's eyeballs are about that big around. What was that?
My music don't come on till it's sandbar time. Noise and shadows scare a lot of fish. Yep,
Amen.
it's
Who was
true.
that?
Southwest Florida.
Yes, he gets it. Dude
Yep,
catches a lot of fish. I
yep.
know. I know. I watch him. Uh, so
He-
get your
what
kayak.
he's saying too, we see this a lot, and we have been on charters. Our friends are charter captains. We love them dearly, and we have a lot of fun with them. But we see them come through these areas where we know there's a lot of fish, and they are in and out of an entire area in 10 minutes. They're fast, they're loud, and they don't catch anything. And that's the
And they're
cool
cussing
thing.
about it as they motor away. Ain't no
And
damn fish in here.
and to be fair, when you have an engine and a big boat, it's hard to get up in these tiny little spaces and docks and be quiet. I mean, you're going to run up on them and scare them immediately.
Hmm.
So it's not their fault. It's the big boat.
We literally, I can't tell you how many we see. We have a, we fish a lot of places, but of course, like everybody, we got our special places and our favorite places.
If
That we,
Shelby's still on, she's been to one.
shh, secret. But anyways, we'll be in these places, and we're familiar with them. We know where the deeper holes are. We know where the current's moving, so we know where we're probably going to be able to find the fish. And we'll come up, we'll post up on one of those spots, we'll get settled in, we come in quiet, we put down our sand spike, or we'll tie up on a pylon, and we get started. And we'll sit there and we'll quietly and slowly pitch bait in there and wait. And then here come the charter captains behind us. And dude, like this one particular place where we like to fish, there's a stretch of, I don't know, 10 docks probably, 10 or 15 docks. And we'll steady work each one of them. And it'll take us,
An hour at each dock.
yeah, it'll take
We
us most of the day to work that line of docks.
hmm
And we'll get a slam and a bunch of fish and have a good old time. And while we're there, folks will come in behind us and they're beautiful center consoles.
yes.
One dude at the helm, and he's running his trolling motor on his remote. Another dude standing up on the bow of the boat. They're troller motoring their way through there. Dude's up on the bow with his freaking NLBN or whatever it is. And each dock will get two casts and literally skip it up under and burn it out. And skip it up under and burn it out and move to the next dock. Same. Boom, 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 boom. And they got their music playing. And I literally have heard them after that last dock. So many of them go, ain't no damn fish in here, and off they go. And that's it. They're in there for like 15 minutes. Chill out, man. Slow down. Snook or spooky. You want to catch one? You better figure out a way to be a little more sneaky about it. Am I right or am I wrong? Come on.
I feel like you're prejudiced against boats
I mean,
with engines.
I'm not prejudiced. I like to go on a sandbar in one and play some music and have some beers and hang out
We
with
have a
them.
lot less, except when we go deep sea fishing, which is my absolute favorite. But we have a lot less success inshore fishing on a boat than we do in the kayak. I will say that.
100%. Probably we catch more fish when we're in our kayaks than we do when we're in a boat, literally tenfold.
Yeah.
Literally tenfold.
Unless it's deep sea, which I love so much.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't like to go offshore and get out there and chase some crazy stuff? But listen, when you go offshore, you're going to do one of two things. You're either going to stick a rod in the holder and
Yes.
you're going to motor around at about
Southwest Florida said, I had a boat for 5 years. I probably doubled the fish in my kayak than I did in my boat and better quality. Yep, it's true.
preach, brother.
We had a boat
Preach.
too. Of course, we weren't fishing at the time. When we owned the boat, we weren't fishermen. But
No, we had kids. We didn't have time to go fishing.
yeah, but we totally agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
We love going out with our friends, but we don't catch fish.
Yeah, but when you go offshore, you're either trolling, which it's exciting when you get a hookup, but when you're just sitting there motoring along, man, where's that beanbag? I need to take a nap. Uh, I'm old. Look at my beard. I need a nap. Um, or you're bottom fishing, right? And you just
Drop it down.
drop her down, and whack, and either your bait's gone or you got hooked up and you're bringing something up.
It's exciting though because you never know what you're gonna bring up, which is super fun. Like in kayaks, we're targeting specific fish,
Right.
so we have a good idea of what we're gonna catch. But when you're, of course, you guys know when you're deep sea fishing, it's like I have no clue what's about to come
Might be
up.
something I want to eat. Might be something want to eat
Yeah,
me. I don't know.
that's what's so exciting
Yeah.
about it. But
But I do prefer the inshore over the offshore because it's almost like, and you ladies won't, or at least this lady won't understand this statement. It's almost like a cross between hunting and fishing. When you're offshore and you're dropping on the bottom, there's no like strategy to it aside from finding your location, right, and finding the structure. Um, but fishing inshore, and especially the way we're doing it, we're targeting where a lot of times you're seeing those fish that you're working to. It's almost like hunting,
it's
right?
a lot to
You got to
learn.
come up quietly without scaring them. You got to locate them. You got to present to them just the way you do if you're hunting deer, you're hunting turkey, or
Yeah.
anything else. So it's that's my favorite. So, but again, what do I know? I'm just a dude with a white beard. I'm looking in the phone and I'm seeing a white beard
I
the whole
can't
time.
see that far, y'all. I will say, if Derek is still on here, I don't know if you are, but thank you for staying through the whole thing. Um, I remember, and this is ingrained in my memory and so embarrassing. But we planned this whole. We've had several days out with you. I remember maybe, or it might have been Corey, but you guys had a really nice boat, huge, and it had the big,
Yeah,
like,
that was it was like a 40-foot Trojan that I think your dad started with that boat, I think.
okay. So, anyways, we planned this whole Crystal prefers catching to fishing. Yeah, exactly. That's how I was in Missouri. I was really not into it. But here it's once you learn the strategy, it's so exciting and there's hope. When I was bass fishing, I thought it was boring, but Crystal, if you are watching, it is not boring. Trust me, it's so much fun. But so we get on this boat, we're super excited. You guys are going to take us offshore.
We were with Corey and Stephanie that day.
Not Derek?
Corey and Stephanie
Oh,
that day.
I actually thought it was Derek and Corey.
Mm-mm.
Okay, well then you won't care as much, but we had put so much effort into this day, right? And it was hot. It was Texas. It was Houston, somewhere.
Bro, this is like August.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we barely get out of the intercoastal.
No, we barely got out of the marina. We were
Stop.
in the intercoastal.
And I had the worst seasickness ever. And we guys had spent money on gas and food and bait, and and I was so sick, and we had to go home.
So we were
Which I don't get sick anymore, thank
that
God.
boat had the bridge, right? The tower, or whatever you
And
call it.
it smelled like
And we
diesel.
were sitting up there, and if there's any wind or water movement, and the boat moves this much,
Ugh.
well, up here at the top, man, that's a lot more movement, right? So we're getting that. It's like 110 degrees.
39-foot Trojan fly bridge.
Yeah, fly
Yeah.
bridge. And so not only is it rocking like this, and we're up there in the fly bridge, we got like a 5 mile an hour tailwind. So it's blowing the diesel exhaust right onto us. And we were only, dude, we were still in the ICW
I was
there
so
at
sick.
where was it? Was it Freeport? No, it was Lake Jackson.
Okay.
And still in the intercoastal waterway. And she was like, bleh, and we had to turn around and go back.
I was like, I can't do it. I am so sorry that I cannot do this.
Yeah, that was that. That was our
Oh
offshore trip
man.
that day.
Oopsies.
The only reason I remember definitively that it was Corey and Stephanie, because when we first got there, uh, one of the batteries in the boat was dead, and Corey's testing it. He's like, "Oh, I can charge it quick," and he pops the caps off the battery, and he hands Stephanie a pitcher, and he says, "Hey, get me some water, please." And she came back with water so fast, like four
Like
seconds. She's
something
handing him
wasn't
a
right.
pitcher, and he grabs it and he starts pouring it into the
Is it
battery.
seawater?
And I was looking at him. I said, just because of how quickly she got the water, I said, Corey, can you put salt water in a battery?
No.
And he goes, hell no, you can't. I was like,
I think you
and
are.
he goes, no, it's fresh water. I said, "Are you sure?" And he goes, "Hey, Steph, did you give me salt water or fresh water?" She goes, "Salt." He goes, "Well, that battery's done. We'll
I
throw that one
remember
away
him
now."
spending a lot of money that day. Maybe that's what it was. He
Yeah,
had to buy a
yeah.
new
Left and
battery.
went and bought a new battery.
Yeah, and we did all this prep, and then 10 minutes into it, I'm like, I have to go home.
And
Surprise!
this is why we love our kayaks. Little plastic boats that you got to pedal. They don't break near as fast.
But I've learned the trick with I don't get seasick anymore, even when we go out. And I will take the whatever those are called, the
Dramamine.
Dramamine stuff. But anyway, anyone have any questions? This
Give us
was
something,
fun.
guys. Give us some material.
Here's
Give us something else to talk about.
if you've caught a snook, say hey. Or if you got any other, I'm excited that we learned a new thing with the leader.
You know,
I'm gonna try
I
that.
wish I had a picture of a snook I could show you guys who maybe haven't caught one. I think the reason they're so much fun to catch, first off, they got this long, kind of slender body, right? So they get a lot of whip, uh, as opposed to, let's think about maybe as an example, like how a bass is built. He's more short and stubby, right? So he doesn't get as much tail movement. That snook is long and thin, so he gets this big long whip to his tail. And then when you see them, their tail is like abnormally large compared to the rest of
I
their
was trying
body.
to find a picture for you.
Yeah, like literally, if his body is this is the profile of his body, his tail is bigger. Yeah, go show that up close.
This one was from
His tail is
yesterday.
bigger than the rest of his body.
This one was from yesterday. If you guys can see, that's a snook that Leah caught. Good
That
job, Leah.
girl never fished and check that. That's how she started her day. That didn't
Yeah.
suck. And he takes that long whip of that big tail, and man, can they move. Now, they're not a long distance burner the way maybe like some offshore fish are, the way kingfish are, and the way tuna, and where they can take that long distance run. It's not like that. He's more of a sprinter, right? But they hit that sprint, and it's so fast and quick. And you want to talk about exhilarating? It's an absolute like a heart pounding adrenaline rush when they take that sideways zip,
Oh
and
yeah.
he's just like, oh, and you see him headed for the dock, and you're trying to put the brakes on him and keep him out of that dock. It's an amazing experience. If you ain't done it, you better get it done.
You better get it done.
Mm,
Check it off your bucket list.
Derek.
And we will take you. Look us up, saltyaktcharters.com. Thank you for your order, Derek. We'll check our orders. It's been a couple days since we were on there, so we need to do that. I thought about that today. I was like, oh, we got to
I
check
thought
that.
about it like 3 days ago. It's like probably better check that website for orders.
Y'all, we're so old. We're
And then
going
I
to
was
get
like,
good at
it's
this.
8 o'clock. I'm going to bed. I'll do that later.
We suck, but we're going to get better every time, okay?
That's
Thanks for
right.
hanging in there. Oh, I already closed my app. Let me see.
What are you closing it for?
What's your favorite lure to use?
Oh,
Oh, we've been talking about. I might have a new one.
I kind of want to get up and go away
N-
but she'll get mad at me
Yeah.
if I do, so I'm not gonna.
I don't want to fill the air in your fishing podcast live thing.
So, who asked that, by the way?
Southwest Florida.
Okay. Uh, Favorite all around. I'm a simple man with simple needs and simple wants, and I want simple results. It's a paddle tail, and it's not a big one.
Z-Man.
It's a 3-inch paddle tail on typically a 3/16 ounce jig head. Our favorite for the jig head is the Z-Man Trout Eye. Got that big old giant eyeball on it, um, and I like the 3/16. Somebody just commented again.
Okay,
Um,
I'm on it.
the 1/4 ounce falls too fast and doesn't let that tail really thump. And the 1/8, it falls really beautifully, but I don't like using it because I can't feel it. And I like to really work that paddle tail. I'm not a steady retrieve guy. I'm always jigging it, bouncing it along the bottom. And I can't feel that one. But the 3/16 will fall slowly, allowing that tail to be sexy all the way down, and you can feel it also. Then for the soft plastic on it, uh, Aaron's pretty much Z-Man, Z-Man, Z-Man. Pricker, light blue fluid
He's
runs out.
DOAs.
I'm 50-50 between the Z-Man and the DOA. The the Z-Man Minnow Z, also the Z-Man Easy Shrimp is fire also. Uh, Best color for us, favorite color, beer run. Super easy. Slam Shady's pretty good too. Beer run's the fave. Um,
We started using the red and gold, and that's been kind of fire
well,
lately too.
oh, okay, hold
And
on.
you got two more comments
Okay,
when you're ready.
so I'm 50-50, right? uh, Z-Man and DOA. The DOA that I like is the cow, the shad, same. It's like a 3-inch paddle tail. They make it in like 100 different colors, like everybody. Some are cool, some are like, what the hell were they even thinking when they made that? Uh, you're gonna eat mushrooms and go fishing. I don't know, but my two favorites, one, and they don't have names for theirs. They don't make it cool the way Z-Man does. Um, but they make one that I call glow silver sparkle. So the top half of the bait is glow, right? So it's white, but it glows in the dark. Bottom half is clear with silver flake in it, and it's fire. Um, the second one that we really like, same paddle tail DOA, uh, it's red and gold glitter. The top half is clear with red glitter. The bottom half is clear with gold glitter. Don't know what the hell that's supposed to look like. I suppose it's supposed to mimic a shrimp, but it slays
And we
fish.
had both the glow and the red yesterday on the trout beds, on the grass
On the grass
beds,
flats.
grass flats, whatever you call them. And trout were biting on both. So,
Yeah, they'll hit them both.
yeah.
The trout are stupid. They don't care.
Stephen Bartell, hey
Hey,
guy, how
Steve.
are
Well,
you?
hold on. The other favorite lure we have is a new one to us
Oh,
that
yeah.
we just tried for the first time last week in a challenge video that we did last Saturday. Um, the Prawn Stars, the Z-Man Prawn Stars,
Me likey.
and they make that in lots of different sizes and colors. We did it's either a 3 or 4 inch. It's the one that comes in a 2 pack for like $10. I think they're 3 inch. They might be four. They're 3/16ths of an ounce. And the particular color that we had, the back was white, the bottom was gold, like a natural shrimp color, and then it had these big purple eyes. And that freaking thing slayed. She hammered trout on it all day. She's a troller. She likes to troll, and they were smashing that thing on the troll. And I went out by myself for a couple hours the other day, and I threw it for just a few minutes, skipping it under mangroves. Caught two snook on it, and a catfish under a mangrove on a lure. Super weird. That catfish, he was
Wah, wah.
he was a catfish who identified as a snook. I don't know what his pronouns were or whatever, but my point is the prawn stars are awesome. Got another comment, but go ahead,
Okay,
Steven.
Stephen, how long of a leader do you use?
So I usually start it at like 8 feet long. And is that necessary? Hell no, it's not necessary. But I don't like tying leaders
If
on
you
the
break
water.
off, you can break off like four
I
times
can
before.
exactly. I can get frayed off by snook several times and once that like 8 footer is down to about 12 inches, time to tie a new one.
Okay, Southwest Florida. He's like, mine's the 3/16th Texas Eye 3-inch beer run. I agree with the weight 100%. Those prawn stars are good too. I'm a Z-Man guy.
Okay. I throw the Texas eye every now and then. Um, I couldn't even tell you why I haven't thrown it more. There's no reason. I just haven't. But I have thrown it some, and I
Who
had good
who makes the
success with it.
Texas Eye?
It's Z-Man. It's a different
Okay.
jig head. Like we use
Oh,
the
I'll have
trout
to
eye.
take a look at that.
I've got some in the kayak. That
Okay.
might surprise you that I have stuff. that was a that
Really?
was a that was a thing.
Yeah.
I
You've
got
had those for ages.
I got busted the other day. We'll tell you that story in a minute. Um,
Derek says he likes the ultraviolet.
ultraviolet what? Um, So the Texas eye it's a jig. It's what I would call, and correct me if I'm wrong, like a swing jig. So you got the piece of lead, right?
Hmm.
And then the hook is attached to it with like a snap ring. So instead of the hook coming straight out of the lead, all one piece, it's jointed.
Okay,
So
so it
it
swivels.
moves a lot.
Okay.
And you can rig it weedless, which is I really probably should do with her a little more often because then like if you throw it into a mangrove, it doesn't get hung. It'll come out.
Nice.
So I correct me if I'm wrong, but is that what you
Z-Man,
rig
Derek
yours
says
weedless? Oh, Z-Man's the
ultraviolet by Z-Man.
wow.
Look at us
Oh,
learning new
this is
things.
gonna get expensive.
Oh, sorry. It's actually the matrix
Oh, I
shad.
know the matrix shad.
Okay, gotcha. Yep.
So, okay, matrix shad is a big thing in Texas and Louisiana. When and Alabama. When I used to go down to Alabama to fish from Missouri, um, it was all about the matrix shad. That's
Is it
all
because it's
anybody
a
talked
little
about
bit
there.
darker water than we have?
It's just a different
Huh.
brand.
Oh,
Just,
okay.
you know, Z-Man, the beer run, that white is
Mhm.
glow, and the ultraviolet stuff is kind of the same way. It reflects or absorbs or
Oh,
whatever
cool.
to sort of glow under the water. But yeah,
Those and down south, he said.
and see, in Florida, nobody knows what the hell a matrix shad is. You go into a bait shop, nobody has them.
Isn't that interesting?
It's just a regional thing.
Yeah.
But I tell me, in Texas, do y'all know what a DOA is? The DOAs exist in Texas. Reason I ask is
We
that's
got two Texans on here because we
like
got
DOA is a Florida company.
Nick
They're
too.
based over on the east coast of Florida, maybe like Jupiter or something like that, is where DOA is based. So I wonder, is it just a regional thing, or are they known in other places?
Hmm.
Let us know, fellers.
Fillers. All right. Well,
I'm waiting for an answer on that. I want to know.
DOA for sure, he said.
Okay, all right. So it's not just a Florida thing. It's funny because why is Matrix not?
Here.
Why is it kind of regionalized up there?
Hmm. Maybe we should bring him to Florida.
I think our tackle box is full enough. Speaking of which, the other day
Oh no.
we were going somewhere, I don't know, and Aaron gets in my truck.
Yes, we use them lots.
Who's that?
Derek.
Okay,
The DOAs.
I got you. Okay. Uh, Aaron gets in my truck. Somebody else just said something. And she looks over and she goes, "Hey, what's this?" And she finds a big old bag full of goodies from the tackle shop.
Yeah, I feel like we've talked about this, but we may not have. But I was like, oh, when did you get these? He's like, oh, I've had that forever. I got those a long time ago.
Like last Tuesday.
Yeah. Southwest Florida said it's very weedless, great for grass flats, but not good at skipping. It's good for getting in the mangroves, but not deep. That makes sense.
That's the Texas eye.
Yeah, so not for under the docks and stuff like we were fishing yesterday, but
Right, probably.
yeah, we'll have to try them out.
Here's something I've never tried to do with the Texas eye. Does it troll well? Can you troll it through the grass?
If you use plates to take the lead keeper off of it, you can put DOA lure. I love that.
Wait, say
You
that.
can put DOA lures on it too.
Okay, I have tried that. I've tried the DOA on the Texas eye, and they tear off so damn easy. Because you know that, what's it called, Elastec? The Z-Man plastic is so soft, stretchy, and all that. Because the Texas eye, the hook in your soft plastic only goes through a tiny little piece of the plastic at the tip. That's it. It doesn't go all the way through the
Huh.
body the way the trout eye
Right.
does. So when I put that, when I tried to use
Oh,
the
pliers. Sorry. I should have picked up on that. He said I meant pliers. If you use pliers to take the lead keeper off of it,
the
you can put.
lead keeper,
Okay,
now I
gotcha.
got you. The little prong thing. You,
English was
why
my
why wouldn't you take that off with a plate?
English was my best subject in college too. I'm getting old, so yeah.
That
Pliers, gotcha.
English was that like because you were kink, 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 carving it into a
I
stone?
guess I don't know. Anyways, that's cool. Yeah, I love it when you can switch lures out on one hook. It's so much easier. So
I know. So yeah, that makes sense because that's what I was getting at. I could never use the DOA on the Texas eye when I tried because it just tore it up so fast. You tear it off just trying to get it on. But if you took that keeper off, yeah, now it makes
it's
more
great for
sense.
trolling, also.
Okay,
Cool. I love
we'll have to give
trolling.
that a try. Where do you live? I think I think he's not far from here.
We should. You guys should go fishing together, unless you have a girl that we could all go. I mean, I go anyways, but I
Did
don't.
you
I
just
don't want to be
hey?
a third
Wait,
wheel.
hold
Okay.
up. Did you just ask a dude if he has a girl? Hey, do you have a girlfriend?
He knows what I mean. Derek says the DOA shrimp under a popping cork is really popular in Texas.
So
people use them here a little bit too.
What are they call that? The DOA deadly combination, I think. When you buy it pre-packaged in the DOA packaged cork with the shrimp under it. I've never caught anything on it, but if I'm being real, I've never caught squat on popping corks. Me personally. We got a lot of friends who use them, swear by them.
And I've seen them catch a lot of fish on them.
It's probably because I'm so damn impatient. I start popping it.
Yeah.
I'm bored.
He gets bored easy, and he's not. You've gotten way better at being patient.
Look at me. I'm a
big
boy now.
You really have. But, because you used to, go through docks really fast when we first moved here. And now you'll sit at a dock for an hour, and I'm like, wow, you're doing good.
When I make a cast, that fish has approximately 37 seconds to eat my bait, my shrimp.
Wading the flats with the cork.
Before I reel it in and recast it.
Dang, I want some waders for next winter. Yes. Put that in your memory bank.
Put that in your memory bank and smoke it. Still waiting on an answer. Southwest Florida. Where you live at, brother?
Don't put your address on YouTube, okay?
Give us your address and phone number.
Maybe you should message Will.
We live in Sarasota, to be clear. I think he might also, or at least close. Because isn't it Southwest Florida like 941 or 914?
Yeah, he said 941 fishing. Are we 941? We kept our, no, you're 727.
I still have a St. Pete number. She still has a Missouri number.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that?
He said, I'll send you a link. I love my waiters. Oh, cool. He's avoiding the where do you live question.
It's like, creepy.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, this has been fun. It's time for me to go make salmon. That I got at Detweiler's. If you're ever in Sarasota, best grocery store in the world. All the vegetables are locally grown.
It's an Amish style. Somebody come in. It's an Amish style store, and it's for real.
It's amazing. Port Charlotte.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're not far.
Maybe 45 minutes.
Sweet.
Let's hook up sometime. Oh, God, that sounded weird. Let's go fishing sometime.
Derek, please vouch for us that we're not weirdos.
No pineapples here.
Derek, that's on this video right now, we went to college with him, and one of us already had the milestone birthday, the big one. Not me.
Why would you even say such a thing?
So, yeah, we've known him a long time.
Well, we need to go down Port Charlotte way, go to Boca, and go look for tarpon.
I want to do that in my kayak so bad.
I don't really think I want you on a tarpon in your kayak.
You'll be fine. I'll be fine. I'll wear a life jacket.
She hooked a tarpon in her kayak one time on accident, and it was a
we already talked about it.
It was a moment.
All right, guys.
That fish cost me $700.
It's a wrap. On that note, this isn't make fun of Aaron live.
$700, and we didn't even catch it.
We've already done this on a live. We don't
need
to read.
It's okay.
On the next episode, I will tell you all of Will's mistakes.
It's going to be a long night.
It's going to be about a 2-hour episode.
Y'all are going to want to bring some Depends, because you're not going to be able to get up to go to the bathroom, and some refreshments. You're going to need, like, provisions, rations. Somebody just came in.
Okay, we got to go. I'm sweating, too. I think it's super humid. So
there's no breeze.
Adios, Derek says.
All right, guys. Thank you all for tuning in and hanging out with us. Remember, get up off that couch and get out there to make blah, 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 blah. Do something to make your day great, because life is short. Don't let it pass you by. Get up off that couch. Come on, guys. Get out of here. If you don't go, you don't know.
See ya!